Hi Leo, welcome to this reading. This is for Leo Sun, Moon and Rising. You might find it resonates more if Leo is your moon or rising sign. Okay, we have the Six of Swords in reverse. So there's a feeling here of wanting to return to you. I don't know if you're in a separation or if there's physical distance between you. You know, either way, there's a feeling of wanting to be close to you, to reconnect, to turn around, to come and see you. If there is a third party here, I'm looking at the three faces on this deck, and your person maybe chose someone else or another situation, there's a feeling of regret here. You know, oh, I've made the wrong choice. It's that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, look, we have the Devil, so we have Capricorn energy, Two of Wands, and we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So it looks to me that this is your reading if your person made some kind of decision, any kind of decision that pulled them away from you or in a direction that sort of takes them away from this connection, and that is what they are currently really thinking about. I've gone down the wrong path here. How can I backtrack and go down the path that leads me closer to you, to the viewer? I feel your person wants to say something to you quite desperately, but they're not saying. So let's see. The Star, we have Aquarius, and you see she's wearing a badge that says first. Yeah. So you are first for them. You are the one, the only. You are the star, you know, for them. They could also see you as being some sort of a public figure or in the spotlight in some way, and they also are admiring you. You know, they're one of your fans perhaps. The Star to me is also, it's about wishes. They wish for you, but it's like your deepest desire that's pulling you towards it, and it might not seem practical. It might seem like, how on earth am I going to get from where I am now over to there? But if you act on faith, if you just keep taking the steps as they appear one by one, you will make it. So they want you to know that they feel a strong intuitive pull towards you as well. They feel very drawn to you in a way that they really perhaps can't explain, and maybe sometimes it feels quite intense with the Devil here. Maybe even like it sort of verges on being a bit of an unhealthy obsession. But you know, I feel right now, and mostly, it just feels great. It feels very high vibrational. I think this Devil's more talking about this other situation they chose, how it's panned out. You know, it's a bit toxic, or it's low vibrational, or they were drawn to it because it was a distraction. You know, we have pills, we have cigarettes, alcohol, food, all these things we can use as distractions. But when you finish with those, the problem is still there, or, you know, you are still the same person. So maybe they pulled away from you because they thought, if, you know, they wouldn't have to change, or they could forget about this, or, you know, that sort of thing. But it definitely hasn't worked. We have the Queen of Wands, so they see you as being very confident, very attractive. There's a feeling of impatience here as well. You see how she's sort of saying, well, I don't know what she's saying. She's got her arm open. She could be saying, where are you? Are you going to say anything? What is this nonsense? You know, but she's not happy. She's sort of saying, like, what's going on? You know, she's yeah, not happy, not pleased, but at the same time she's not riled up enough that she can be bothered to stand up. So they're seeing you in your power, but they also feel that you're kind of dissatisfied about something that has happened, and you might be looking at them and how they've behaved, and you're saying, seriously? Really? Okay, we have the Two of Cups in the reverse. You see, at times they may have felt this connection was too intense. It pulled them in too much. Let's clarify this. We just had the Ten of Pentacles in reverse trying to slip out. So for those of you where your person maybe is in a family situation, they might have felt that, you know, this was a temptation, your connection was a temptation, and they perhaps chose to stay in the pre-existing dynamic situation because it was established, there's money, finances, a home involved, that sort of thing. Whereas with you, they have all of the feelings and this connection that's not tangible, that can't be seen. And it could even be, when I say family, it doesn't have to just be like a partner or karmic children. It could be even their parents. I know sometimes you guys leave comments saying, oh, it's their, you know, it's their mother, or it's their religion, or something like that. They could have been feeling overwhelmed by the weight of all of that, you know, and they may have felt it was easier to stay in that situation than fight for this connection they have with you, especially if it's something that they feel but they couldn't quite explain. It's something they couldn't show to people. It's almost fighting for a feeling. And perhaps your person, you know, is someone who is used to prioritizing head over heart, or doing what seems logical or what they can see in front of them, not what they feel. Okay. We have the Nine of Wands in the reverse, and we have the Fool. Yeah, they want a new beginning. And there's one that just fell on the floor. Oh my goodness. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, no more juggling, no more indecision. They've narrowed down their focus. It's you. If we take away one of these pentacles, we're left with only one, which is the Ace of Pentacles. So they want to make an offer to you, and there's a real impatience around this. However, they almost feel like they've backed themselves into a corner, because I'm seeing a couple of things here. They've done some things in the past that at least they believe that you're not happy about. Maybe you don't care about them at this point, maybe you do, you know, but their opinion is they've annoyed you in some way and you're still kind of annoyed. And if they come forward towards you, they have to do so in a very in a proper way, that you will look at them and you'll think, okay, this is worth my time and attention. You're not interested in anything silly, anything wishy-washy, back and forth, nothing like that. So they feel the pressure's on in that respect. Also, it's almost like they've doubled down in some way, in a practical sense, within this other situation, or in terms of pulling away from this connection. So they've been building up something in a practical sense over here, whereas what they really want now is to be over here. But you know, they've been investing over time in this other situation. So it's like, how do I now unpack this so I can get away from it? Okay, so yeah, they want to offer something. They're not sure if you're going to receive them well. Knight of Wands, you see, that's exactly it. You're saying, no, I'm a queen, I don't want a knight. You know, I've seen this behavior and energy of the knight from you before. I'm looking for a king. I'm looking for an equal here. So coming in, they have to do more to convince you that maybe they have changed, or they're showing up in a more consistent energy, because in their mind, the way you're going to look at them as they come forward is as a knight. You've already got memories, you have experience of how they've shown up, you know, and that's, you're wearing glasses that are tinted with the lens of how they were in the past. So they know they've got to sort of almost do double to convince you that there has been a change. Okay, so yeah, that's their energy and their feelings, really focused on how can I bring about this new beginning, how can I come in with this offer, how can I convince you that I have changed. Let's see, Knight of Wands, that's how they were. What's the energy they're in now? I think that's the Lovers that just popped out. It is. So we have Gemini energy here. So the Lovers is reversed, which to me talks about having made a choice. The choice is you. Clarify the Lovers, please. Is there anything else? Ten of Swords. Okay, and also regret and apology for having tried to maybe dismiss this connection in the past with the Lovers. Two of Cups. You see, all of the emotion, the intuitive knowing was there, but maybe there was no tangible evidence. Maybe in a practical sense, this connection did not make sense to them, you know, so they went with what was practical, and it's really been painful for them and for you. What's the energy that they're coming forward in now, please? If it's not the Knight of Wands, what's the energy they're coming forward in now? Eight of Swords. I'm quite disempowered there. We have the Sun in reverse, Leo energy. It's almost like they want to offer themselves up to you. See how she's tied here to this cocktail stick? They're actually swords, mini swords. So they want to come forward, they want to speak their truth, and then they're just going to sort of stand there and be like, okay, I'm ready to take whatever you want to throw at me. I almost feel like, I mean, that's good, yes, but I wonder if you'd like to see them being a bit more dynamic, perhaps. They're very nervous. I'm not sure if it will focus on her face. Don't think so, but her expression is shock, surprise. They're really anticipating that you might be cross with them, you might have something to say about how things were left. things that happened in the past. But you know, they're willing to stand there and hear all of it. They're not going to run from it, is what I'm seeing. Even if they really want to, even if it's uncomfortable, they're going to force themselves to stay, to hear you out, to almost accept the consequences of whatever has happened in the past. Okay, so let's have a look then at their deepest thoughts and desires here for you, with you, within this connection. So the deepest thoughts and desires, please, of this person that my viewer is thinking of at this time. We have Aries energy, Aquarius twice, Capricorn, Leo, Gemini. Okay, the deepest thoughts and desires, please. Yeah, look, Queen of Wands, again, it's you. Their deepest desire is you, but sometimes, you know, the Queen of Wands can be almost like the other woman or the other man, or someone who's a bit out of reach, whether it's because you do have, you know, a separate commitment, or they do, or just because you feel that they are so admired by many people and you're lost in the crowd, you know, you can't quite get to them. Some of you may have this person and someone else, you know, on your side, and they might be wondering, are you going to choose them? Are you going to choose the other person? Okay, so the deepest thoughts and desires, please, of this person towards my viewer. Oh my goodness, 2 of Cups, wow. So this is interesting and actually very encouraging. It's so far we're seeing their deepest desires and thoughts do align with their energy and their feelings. So there's no tension, there's no war between head and heart and what they really want versus what they feel they should do. Everything is aligning. They want you, they want, you know, to be the chosen one, they want to reveal a truth, they want to have a new beginning, and they're actually thinking, right, okay, I'm going to make this happen. We have the 7 of Swords, and we have the 4 of Swords. Okay, we have the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, as much as you might be shining, confident, doing well, they do wonder or suspect if there's still some pain and heartbreak underneath in relation to them. You know, if they kind of stabbed you and then ran away and left you bleeding, and they kind of wonder, have you closed that wound up, or are you still in pain underneath, but you're you know, doing very well at wearing a mask here. So I feel they have the desire to try and bring in healing. I'm hearing to see if the ending was the ending. So if you maybe agreed it's over, if you had an argument, or if they just interpreted something as being an ending between you, it's almost like they want to know, was that really the end, or one of the endings that we have been through on this journey together? Okay. We have the 8 of Wands reversed, Justice, Libra energy, yeah, okay, and the High Priestess, and then we have the Tower on the back. We have Scorpio energy. Okay, their deepest desire here that they're thinking about is they just want to explode in your life. They just want to, you know, turn up and yeah, look, strength is underneath the Tower. They want to explode on the scene. They want to say, here I am, here's me making up for sneaking off in the past, or for sneakily keeping my feelings to myself, or getting someone else involved in this situation. You know, whatever your situation is, we do have 3 birds here. It's like they're saying, I want to bring justice. I want to do it suddenly, quickly, when you might not expect it. I don't want to wait anymore. There is so much thinking they're doing in quiet. 4 of Swords, High Priestess, you know, even the 8 of Wands reverse, 7 of Swords, lots of this, an energy of a hidden message here, hidden intentions, and in the middle of all of this is justice. Your person wants balance. Okay, let's have a look and see, what else can we get here? There's a desire to bring this out of the realm of that we both know in our separate spaces, that we're thinking of each other, we have this connection. You know, they now want to maybe see you face to face, or speak to you on the phone, or something like that, travel to you even, and bring this into the physical as well. What's all this hidden knowledge, hidden messages, hidden communication, please? Three of Cups in the reverse. So wanting to see you, maybe to talk about this over dinner or a drink or something like that. Wanting to reconcile. If they have a memory of you around other people, whether it's recent or in the past, that's something they hold on to as well. I'm seeing something about conkers. I can't remember when conkers are about. Is it, I don't know, autumn? Wouldn't be winter. I don't know. Let me know if you know. Something maybe around that season. It's almost as well, there's something they want to tell you about a third party. Seven of Pentacles. Maybe, the whole time they've been dealing with this third person or situation, they have been thinking of you. I was talking about them going down the wrong path as far as they're concerned, thinking to themselves, I chose wrong. Yeah, Two of Swords. So they want you to know everything they've been thinking about while there's been distance or separation between you. Page of Pentacles, wanting to make an offer. They have something maybe that they're feeling more proud of now that they want to share with you. For some of you, there's absolutely a conversation they want to have around a child or children. They might be saying, my child or my children are a concern, as in I have to factor them into any moves that I make. I also am seeing for some of you, it's almost as though your person, especially if you haven't been speaking, during this time, they've really pushed through in terms of some sort of inner development, growth, whether it's spiritual, whether they've been growing in terms of like a more practical sense, making moves in their life. But it's like it was happening anyway through this connection. But if there's been a disconnect, that just sped up incredibly quickly. And there might have been something they've realised within the last month or two that's really got them to this place where they're focused on practicality, moving this forward in a practical sense, bringing about a new beginning and taking the initiative here towards you, rather than waiting for you to reach out to them. Okay, so let's get some messages. So what do we want you to know? I'm being held up in a prison of some sort. Or self-imposed. Either way, I'm doing my best to get myself out of this and will reach out as soon as I can. Please don't worry about me. Yeah, that's exactly it. I think for some of you, they could literally be in prison. For I think most of you, this is them saying, I literally walked myself via going down that wrong path into this prison I'm in, that I have created, that I have invested in over time. Now I have to deconstruct this and find my way back to the other path, which leads me to you. Okay, we have, just because I love being intimate with you doesn't mean I'm using you or being a player. It's just my most comfortable way of showing you my love for you without words. Okay, and this could also apply if you've had lots of flirtation from your person and passion, but then when you try to turn the conversation to something maybe that's more heartfelt or meaningful, I don't know, maybe they disappear, something like that. But I'm seeing this reflected in that Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands energy. You might have felt that this sort of energy of passion, intimacy from them, it's felt a bit immature because it's been ungrounded in some way. Don't be surprised if I show up at your door. Wow, okay. Will you please send me messages via social media that let me know you're still thinking of me? I'm going through a hard time and need to know you're not going anywhere. And we have, I'm making plans for us behind the scenes I don't want you to know about yet. I'm setting us up for a bright, stable future and want to impress you next we talk, which I do see. And, with this pentacle here, I think they have something, or at least the beginnings of something that they feel quite proud of and would be happy to share with you. Okay, so let's get you messages from Spirit. We'll start with Tarot, and then I have a few Oracle decks as well. So, Spirit, what are your messages, please, for my viewer around this connection? Anything hidden, anything you want to share, any advice? We have, oh wow, the Six of Swords in reverse. Spirit saying they're coming back. That's exactly the message, the first card of the whole reading that we started with, the Six of Swords in reverse. So yes, your person is now much more open to listening to those intuitive nudges, and spirits confirming they're coming back around, they're coming into your life. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Wands, Hanged Man in reverse. Yeah, there's going to be a chance for a new energy here, a new beginning, a new cycle to begin. I think there could be a bit of, not tension, but there are some things that need to be worked out, as in the passion is here, the desire is here, but you might need to try and get on the same page around something. You might hold different perspectives in some way. There might be practical things you have to sort out, you know, okay, how is this going to work? Page of Swords, so they've been watching you for some time. If there's no way for them to watch you, you know, whether it's social media, asking about you, that sort of thing, they have been thinking about you. They may even have been researching things about this connection. Why do I feel this way? What are soulmates? What are twin flames? Or, you know, advice on how to apologize to someone. It could be anything, really. I am noticing she has on a ring and it's a star. So there is some way in which they feel that maybe lots of people have your attention, or you're watched by many people, and actually they are one of these people in the crowd that you might not have been seeing or noticing. We have the Four of Swords. Wow, Three of Swords. Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's almost like your person comes in, you both think, okay, great, let's move this forward, but then you have to almost take a step back and address some things that have happened in the past and reconcile those within yourselves and with each other, and then move forward. Almost so, you know, so that the past doesn't repeat itself, or that there's no resentment carried forward. So Spirit's encouraging you to try not to skip that step, even though, of course, it's not comfortable, and you probably would rather both just jump forward with this more excited Page of Wands energy. Hanged Man, Queen of Cups in reverse, please. Yeah, I thought so. Queen of Pentacles. So for those of you where there's a third party, specifically a karmic or a mother or a very dominant feminine energy, that person will still be around when your person comes forward to connect. And you know, you're going to have to work something out and ask them, well, what's happening with that situation? What are your intentions? This is someone who, at least in your person's mind and how they feel about this other person, this is someone who is very concerned about appearances. If they were emotionally invested with your person at some point, they don't seem to be anymore. And let's say it is a parent here of your person. It's almost like this parent is more concerned, again, with appearances and what they think is correct for your person versus your person actually being happy. Very, very controlling. You see how she's got her hands on her hips and she's leaning forward at us? You know, this person's very much in your person's business. You probably know all of this. This person's not a surprise to you, but they are still around. Yeah, Two of Pentacles in reverse. So there will need to be a conversation, you know, okay, what's happening here? What do you intend to do about this? Especially if you don't want to step into a third party situation here. Or maybe it was like that in the past and you're done with that. Okay, so let's keep going. What else, Spirit? We have, I trust my inner guidance, my soul knows the way forward. Wow, and that's exactly what your person's doing right now. And, you know, you can definitely trust your inner guidance here as well. We have, I am safe to explore new love with others. Okay, so this could literally be if some of you were thinking about opening up to other people, it's safe to do so. Maybe you were wondering, is it right, is it wrong, should I, shouldn't I? And Spirit saying, if it's what you want, if it feels right, you absolutely should and can. Also, if this is about the new love, the new cycle coming into this connection, I do feel it's safe to trust whatever your intuition is telling you. You know, if your intuition is telling you, I do think a change has happened, you know, then allow yourself to accept that. I anchor the boundless light in my heart. I am divine. Okay, so you are the creator of your reality here. So always remembering your own personal power. Okay, what else, please? We have confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. Okay. You know, and this lion looks pretty worried. It's almost like the lion's forgotten that they're a lion, you know? So again, that goes with this message about anchoring the boundless light, the infinite potential here within you. We have look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Okay. So in these talks you have with your person, don't get too bogged down in the details and overwhelmed. Okay, and then adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. So there's going to be a need to, you know, adjust, work things out together, plan together, talk through things, but, you know, keep stepping back, look at the bigger picture. Ultimately, this is, you know, someone you want to move forward with, to build with, and that's what it's all about. If that's how you feel, of course. Okay, let's finish with one of these. We have wonder. It's a wonderful thing to be in a state of wonder, and when I'm a good audience to my life becomes better and better theatre. When something delightful happens, I can shout encore and be tickled when it happens again. When something maddening happens, I can laugh it off. Either way, I'm glad I got a ticket to the show. Okay, so are you strapped in for the ride here? Because it's almost like Spirit saying your task at this point is to be receptive and to respond mindfully versus reacting. Also, this definitely tells me that your person is one of your admirers or observers in some sort of way here, and disguising themselves incredibly well. You'd never know. You know, all of these people look like they're exactly the same person, but one of these is your person here. So it could be, you know, that they're doing it anonymously, quietly. If they ask about you, it's in a very subtle, tactful way that never really gets back to you. It could be, if you have an online presence, they have a fake account, or they just don't actually directly interact with you, but they're always watching. Okay, so I will leave this here. Let me see what I have planned for tomorrow. Okay, so a reading that looks at, with 3 different sections at love, if you're single, partnered, and in a current relationship, or if you're separated from someone. I don't know, not really feeling that right now. I will do that one, but it's not what I'm drawn to right now. We'll see though. But I hope this helped. Thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye.